Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and yes, you read the title. You know exactly which Disney animated feature film I'm reviewing, and seeing as how in the last review video I did, I pretty much gave it away. You knew exactly what it is that I was talking about, and yeah, this Disney animated feature film, it too is celebrating its anniversary. That's right, guys. I am finally reviewing Frozen. Yes, Frozen. Holy cow. Like, when this first came out, like, and by the way, because before this came out, like, I'm pretty sure nobody, and especially Disney themselves, could have imagined how much of a huge impact this left off. Because when this came out, oh my gosh, like, it literally exploded. Like, it really did. It took off by storm, and, you know, everybody was loving this movie. They couldn't stop talking about it. You would see Frozen everywhere, wherever you'd go. Everybody would be singing the songs. Thousands and hundreds of YouTube videos, you know, from the songs and talking about Frozen. You get my point. Oh my gosh, you know, it's hard to believe, you know? Yeah, and I remember when I saw this in theaters, both me and my parents, and we were blown away by it as well, because, yeah, there hadn't been a Disney animated feature film, and for that matter, an animated feature film entirely like Frozen, you know? And it's definitely right there next to, say, how much of a huge impact, like, say, other animated films, you know, they left off a huge impact, like, well, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Jungle Book, The Lion King. Need I go on? Yeah, so Frozen, I tell you, because, just so fantastic. But, with that being said, and as always, read the description / the story. When their kingdom becomes trapped in a perpetual winter, if I'm saying that one word right, maybe not, I'm sorry, and again, you know me sometimes. Fearless Anna joins forces with mountaineer Kristoff and his reindeer sidekick to find Anna's sister, Snow Queen Elsa, and break her icy spell. Although their epic journey leads them to encounters with mystical trolls, a comedic snowman, harsh conditions, and magic at every turn. Anna and Kristoff bravely push onward in a race to save their kingdom from winter's cold grip. I don't know where to start off. I mean, because, you know, this is Frozen we're talking about, and literally so much to talk about, I'm just saying. But, yeah, first off, because with, yeah, the opening to the film, I do like it, like, because there are some Disney films, whether if it's, you know, the Disney animated feature films, or live action, or Pixar, there would be some where they would open with the logos, but different music would be playing. And in this case, for Frozen, because it's a bit of a na hey ya, that's pretty good. And one of the first song numbers that we get is a bunch of, like, mountaineers and, you know, who work on ice and so on, yeah, called Frozen Heart. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's the title of the song. And we first get the introduction of a young Kristoff and his reindeer sidekick named Sven. Yeah, Sven. And little Kristoff, you know, struggling to do his own ice, like, break it and trying to grab it, you know. But, of course, eventually, like, later that night, and before they depart, a group of men, Kristoff finally does get his own ice that he was struggling to get. And there's something that I'd like to mention, and I can't be the only one that has thought of this, because, you know, it makes you wonder, and because, you know, with a young Kristoff being there with the Mountaineers, like, what about Kristoff's parents? Like, the movie never establishes Kristoff's mom and dad, and nor does Kristoff mention them later on in the movie, like when he's with Anna. I don't know. I just feel like mentioning because it is obvious, but you know what? It's one of those things in some movies that, you know, it's never explained, and it's pretty much not important. Yeah. And especially, you know, what happens next with Kristoff and Sven, but until I get to that, because we then get the we then see, I should say, we then see the main location of Frozen, the kingdom, which being Arendelle. And this is where we get the introduction of the two other main characters of Frozen, and in this case, a young Elsa and Anna. Yeah. And at one point, because Anna woke up Elsa and to play in the snow and with her magical powers, and they're having a good time, even making a snowman, calling him Olaf, and something about that snowman very later on, because he's an important part. And Anna's having too much fun, and Elsa can't keep up, and Elsa accidentally, hit Anna with her powers, like, directly at the head, and causing, like, a stream of hair of Anna's to turn white, and Elsa and Anna's parents showing up. The king and queen, Agnar and Queen Adana, if I'm saying that name right. The queen was voiced by Jennifer Lee, and the king was voiced by Maurice LaMarche. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty good for Maurice LaMarche, like, doing, like, a voice in this, like, in a major Disney film. In fact, he's done a lot of other voices for Disney, like, most notably voicing Mr. Big in Zootopia, yeah. And so they go to the trolls to seek some help, and that's when one of the main trolls, because these trolls, they disguise themselves as, like, boulders, and one of the main trolls, Poppy, yeah, I think I am saying his name right, and that's how he's called, and I'm looking at it, and being voiced by Ciaran Hinds. Yeah, I know who he is. So Poppy, like, helps Anna, who's still unconscious. Like, basically, what they have to do is to wipe out Anna's memories of knowing Elsa has powers, and to limit her contact with people, that being Elsa, as the king recommends, and keep her powers hidden from, the entire land. And, and also to prevent Anna from getting hurt, and for her knowing what her sister is. And, that's really sad, because Anna loved the powers that her sister had, and now, with her memories being taken away from knowing her sister has powers, that's a shame. And the fact that they moved Elsa from one bedroom to another to have her own bedroom to keep her separate from Anna, and thus, yeah, them being separate, and Elsa most of the time remaining in her room. And, by the way, because the songs, okay, so the first two songs that we get, the opening song number with the mountaineers / ice workers, and that's what I'm calling them, and that's pretty much what they are, ice workers. Frozen Heart, yeah, that's the title of the song. And then the next song that is sung by Anna, which being, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Yeah, the first memorable song of this film. And, as they get a bit older, because Anna's still, like, going to Elsa's bedroom door, asking her if she wants to build a snowman, do other fun stuff in the Arendelle castle. And then when they're a bit older, and, like, they're, like, up to teenagers, well, the king and queen go away for a little while, and sure enough, because, they're out to sea in a boat, well, a crazy storm hits, and with giant waves, and it basically kills and drowns the king and queen. Oh my gosh, And, at the end of the Do You Want to Build a Snowman song, because, yeah, a sad way to end it for sure. And then 3 years later, and it's where Elsa is to be crowned Queen of Arendelle. And that's when we get another fantastic song number for the first time in forever. Yeah, sung by Anna and Elsa. And by the way, Anna being voiced by Kristen Bell, and Elsa being voiced by Idina Menzel. And she was no stranger to being in something Disney, and for that matter, completely no stranger to doing something musical, Because for Disney, she previously was in Enchanted, and the fact that she is a fantastic singer, the fact that she did not sing at all in Enchanted, like, I guess it was, probably was not necessary, and for her character, and maybe that was part of a joke or something. I don't know, but I'm sure you get my point, you know. And for her doing musicals and singing, well, most notably, Wicked. Yeah, if anybody knows Wicked. Yeah, so, and this is where Elsa is kind of like, for the first time in forever, like, actually stepping out in the public and so on. And, you know, basically, like, at one point, her father gave her gloves because it does help her because the power's coming through, you know, from her hands. And, you know, it's unfortunate because throughout most of the film, Elsa just, you know, terrified and feeling that she can't control her powers, you know. You know, it's a good example like I'm thinking of right now is the Phoenix, you know, Jean Grey from X-Men, like how at a certain point, especially in X-Men The Last Stand, like, she can't control her powers, but she can, especially Charles Xavier telling her. And oh my gosh, if you know how it should have ended, you would have seen how Frozen should have ended, and with X-Men, because, yeah, like, of course I had to mention it, and yeah, you get the whole thing. So yeah, again, the song number for the first time in forever, and during that we do see an older Kristoff and Sven, and, you know, throughout most of the film, Sven, you know, he loves having carrots, and by the way, because, you know, this being, the day that Elsa is to be crowned queen, well, thousands from other, like, realms of the kingdom, kingdom realms, I want to say, you know, they come to Arendelle, and funny enough, because before I get to this one character who attends to this in Arendelle, we got a cameo from Flynn Rider and Rapunzel from Tangled. Like, you should have seen them. Like, yeah, you could easily spot them. I don't know, like, could Tangled be in the same universe with Frozen? Probably not, but you know, at least Frozen and Tangled, they share the same, like, style. Well, I mean, for that matter, Disney animation style, Disney has a certain style to their characters, you know? But there can be some differences with how the characters are made and such. Like, you know, a good example, Lilo and Stitch, like, that's a good one. But anyways, so this one visitor from another kingdom, Duke of Weselton, but there are many times where some characters get the name wrong. Instead of Weselton, they called Weaselton. But yeah, the Duke of Weselton corrects them, you know, saying, it's Weselton! And the Duke of Weselton being voiced by, and pretty much Disney Animation's Lucky Charm, Alan Tudyk. And because he voiced a character, which, you know, being preferred to as Duke of Weselton, he would go on to voice a character in Zootopia called Duke Weaselton. Yeah, because clearly in that, because that's a total joke slash homage slash reference to the Duke of Weselton from Frozen. Yeah. And basically already, because, and for us audiences, knowing that the Duke of Weselton is just a greedy person, like, trying to go after the riches of Arendelle, yeah, and, at the end of the song number for the first time in forever, because, you know, also, Anna was at one point in the song singing that maybe this will be the day that she finds the right one for her. And when the song ends, well, she's accidentally hit by a horse, and that's when we get the introduction of Hans, voiced by Santonio Fontana. Yeah, I got that right. Hans seems like, you know, because throughout most of the film, he seems like a caring and nice person, or so we think. And it doesn't take too long for Hans and Anna to hit it off, and then, like, also we then see Elsa being crowned as Queen of Arendelle officially, and, you know, she was afraid to take off the gloves because she was supposed to hold, like, these two pieces that, you know, a king or queen would hold during a ceremony, you know. But she was, yeah, it went fine at first, but then her hands started to freeze them, but she was quick enough to put the gloves back on, yeah. And then that evening, because a dance party is happening, and, you know, things are going well between Elsa and Anna, having sistery moments, I guess you could say. And especially, like, Elsa, like, having Anna dance with the Duke of Wesselton. Like, Elsa didn't want to dance with him, but she, like, recommended Anna. Oh, Elsa, that's sisters for you. But then, of course, Anna once again bumping into Hans. And again, they start to hit it off. And that's when, the next song number that we get, which being Love is an Open Door, which is, a pretty good song. And, at the end of the song, Hans asks Anna, the craziest question, will you marry me? And of course she accepts. Like, can I say something crazy? Yes. And then that's when Anna and Hans go up to, now, Queen Elsa to get her blessing and for them to get married. And this is the first time that Elsa is meeting Hans. And for that matter, this is the first time for both Hans and Anna to know each other and stuff like that. And already, because they want to get married and so on. But Elsa, she objects to this and, saying to Anna, you can't marry a man you just met. And, yeah, I guess that's not really how it works, not really. And Anna just being upset by this, and the fact that, Anna went through so much, like the door being shut on her from her sister, and they hardly have done anything for a long time, and Anna just can't take it anymore, and even at one point she accidentally took off one of Elsa's gloves, and Anna asking, and out loud and for everybody else to hear, what did I ever do to you? Why do you shut me out? Why do you shut the world out? What are you so afraid of? And Elsa, going, I said enough, and she accidentally lets her powers out, and thus she's exposed, and even the Duke of Wesselton being a jerk, of course, already claiming that Elsa is a monster, and thus Elsa running away, wanting to not hurt anybody and telling them to stay back, even when, it was what she did, almost striking at those people, it was an accident because she was terrified. Even Anna and Hans know that. And Anna, feeling that it's her fault, well, she's the one that has to go after her sister to bring her back, especially even at one point when Elsa, I should say, she's walking on the water of Arendelle, and it turns into ice. Well, pretty much the entirety of Arendelle turns into ice, and it starts snowing during the middle of summer. and apparently, I guess this was the first time that anybody in Arendelle had seen snow. They should be aware of snow. I'd probably so, but never had seen it in person, I guess. Well, if so, then why not? Why haven't they seen it in person? And that's when we then come to the next song number, and if not, one of the most memorable and most popular Disney songs. Well, I mean, it's right there with a lot of other great Disney song numbers. Come on, Of course, that being Let It Go. Oh my gosh, it's such a powerful song, and for Elsa, because all that she's been through, and the fact that everybody knows what she is, and with her powers, and now finally the time has come for her to let it all go. Yeah, and Elsa making her own ice palace, yeah. And at one point, you see that she creates Olaf, yeah, and because of her magical powers and what that did, creating Olaf, yeah, and what would come next, Yeah, again, I tell you, the song Let It Go, just fantastic because of the lyrics, but also the visuals and stuff like that. And I can't forget to mention this because the songs of Frozen being written and scored by, technically scored, but, the Lopezes, Christian Anderson and Robert Lopez. And, they're no strangers to doing something Disney because, well, before this, they previously did Finding Nemo the musical. They wrote the songs for that at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And they also did do a previous Disney animated feature film, which being the 2011 Winnie the Pooh film. Yeah, they did the songs for that. And not long after doing that, they would go on to do this. Yeah, and boy, because they made the songs that they did for Frozen, need I say, and continue saying. And one more thing about the song number Let It Go. I mean, the animation that happens that in the song number of Let It Go, fantastic. Well, that's another thing, because the animation to the entirety of Frozen, fantastic and beautiful, I tell ya. Especially because, like, how, you know, they did the ice effects, like, from Elsa and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. They did a good job. And with Elsa, like, taking off her crown, the past is in the hands, and, you know, transforming into a beautiful dress, you know, and obviously to go with the Ice Palace, you know. Yeah, again, Let It Go, such a fantastic song number. And then we come back to Anna, whom riding on a horse trying to find Elsa, but at one point something happened and, like, the horse ran away, and thus she's all alone trying to walk through the snow. But poor Anna, because, like, tumbling through snow and into a freezing river, oh my gosh. But then she comes up to this, like, shop, and which is owned by a character by the name of Oaken. I think I'm saying the character's name right, Oaken. Like, he seems like a little, like, he seems like a small person or whatever, but when he stands up, like, he's tall, and, you know, his accent, and sometimes going, woohoo, and Oaken being voiced by Chris Williams, who works at Disney, and he's been a director at some Disney animated feature films. Yeah, I think it is Chris Williams. And that's where we get, like, the full introduction of Kristoff, you know, because we saw Kristoff and Sven early on in the film, like, when they were at Arendelle, and Kristoff being voiced by Jonathan Groff. Yeah, I got the name right. And, yeah, this is where Kristoff and Anna first meet, and it doesn't go too well with Kristoff trying to buy some supplies and carrots. And then we get another, like, song number. It's a small one, and it's from Kristoff. He's singing to Sven, called Reindeers Are Better Than People. Yeah, just a little song number. You know, that there have been some little song numbers like that, even when it comes to Disney, so, you know. And Anna, you know, asking Kristoff to take her to the mountains and to find Elsa. She did get the gears and supplies that Kristoff needed and the carrots, and that convinces Kristoff, because he doesn't want to do it at first, and he doesn't take demands or anything like that, requests to do something to a person. But yeah, Anna sure enough convinced him, and thus he agrees, and thus they make their way to the destination that Anna needs to take to find her sister. And the chemistry between Kristoff and Anna kind of doesn't go well at first, and especially because, like, I guess, like, I think Anna and Kristoff being insulted by each other, I want to say. And at one point, they get ambushed by wolves, hungry, vicious wolves. And unfortunately, like, because they sacrifice Kristoff's sleigh. That was the only sleigh he had, and he just had it, like, touched up and stuff like that, however he said it. Yeah, so much for Kristoff's sleigh, and thus they proceed on their journey to where they're supposed to go to find Elsa. And at one point, Anna, Kristoff, and Sven run into and meet for the first time Olaf, voiced by Josh Gad. Yeah, this is where we finally see Olaf, where he is now alive, and because of Elsa's powers when she created Olaf. And, yeah, and especially because, like, when one of the carrots that was going to be given to Sven, Anna used a carrot to give Olaf a nose, and summer is mentioned, and Olaf just loves to hear that, summer, and thus we get our next song number, all about summer, titled In Summer. I think it's one of my favorite song numbers. I think it's that and right next to Let It Go, because who doesn't love Let It Go? Not just because, like, how, you know, crazy. Just, it's such a nice song, you know, a very powerful song. You know, you get my point. So yeah, In Summer is a fun and hilarious song sung by Olaf and, you know, for that matter, Josh Gad. Olaf talking about how much he would love to experience summer, and Kristoff, he wants to mention and say to Olaf about what would happen if he was in summertime, and Anna just like, you know, don't tell him that. And Kristoff, yeah, he's saying to himself that he is going to tell Olaf, yeah. Yeah, but again, the In Summer song number is really good, funny, and, you know, Josh Gad, he is a fantastic singer, especially when trying, I guess, to hit that note, like, you know, in summer, you know, like that. That's pretty funny and good. So Anna asks Olaf, like, where can they find Elsa, and Olaf knows the direction. And when they make their way there, because, like, okay, we then come back to Arendelle, still frozen, and the Duke of Weselton blaming it on Elsa and calling her a monster, while Hans assures everybody, because Anna left Hans in charge of Arendelle, and Hans is assuring the Duke of Weselton that you know, Elsa is not a monster. But then at one point, Anna's horse came back, and Hans suspects that Anna is in trouble, and thus Hans and a group of volunteered men go to find Anna as well as to find Elsa. And the Duke of Weselton has his 2 men to join them as well, but he secretly told them to basically kill Elsa. Yeah, without Hans knowing, so... and so they head their way to where they're supposed to find Anna and Elsa. And then finally, coming back to Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven, they finally make their way to Elsa's ice palace. Anna is amazed by this, by what Elsa has created. I mean, yeah, because the thing is, Elsa can do good things with her powers, but the fact that she's so terrified of what she might do, that there's darkness to her powers, and even what Pabi the troll told young Elsa and, you know, her parents, you know, what could happen with Elsa's powers, like darkness could happen, etc. And once again, Anna and Elsa are reunited, and Anna had Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven wait out there for like a few minutes, and Olaf starts counting, and then when he finally finishes counting, that's when he comes in, and Elsa does get to see and meet Olaf, and Anna is reminding Elsa, you know, the good times they had when they were kids and when they built Olaf, but even, yeah, Elsa does admit it, but, you know, she wants her sister to go away and live her life and be happy, but Anna is not going to have it. She wants her sister to come back. And we get we get a reprised version of For the First Time in Forever, and that's when, during the song number, Anna tells Elsa, Arendelle's in deep, 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 deep trouble, I want to say, yeah, however she said it, because of what she did when she left and ran away, because, you know, when she was walking, you know, through on the water and turned into ice, the entirety of Arendelle turned into ice. And at one point during the reprised version of For the First Time in Forever, and at the end of the song, like, Elsa getting more frustrated, and she unleashes her powers, I don't care, however she said it, and accidentally aiming for Anna's heart, because, yeah, like, when she accidentally hit Anna on her forehead, yeah, like, she was okay eventually, but by hitting the heart, even Poppy warned them about that if she had accidentally hit her heart, well, her heart would turn into ice, and sure enough, it starts to turn ice, and yeah, and that's when her hair becomes more, like, Snow White, I want to say. But like, yeah, you know. And Kristoff coming to Anna's aid, and basically Elsa creates this abominable snow monster. I think, yeah, because the name of the abominable snow monster is Marshmallow. Yeah, creating a Marshmallow and having Marshmallow take Anna, Kristoff, and Olaf and Sven, like, kicking them out of the palace and, don't come back! And Kristoff, like, he throws a snowball snowball at Marshmallow, and that pisses off Marshmallow, and Marshmallow starts chasing them. And to speed things up, yeah, because, like, them trying to lose Marshmallow and Olaf trying to, consider and negotiate with Marshmallow. It's funny. Try to make peace with Marshmallow, that is, but no luck. And of course, Anna and Kristoff, they get out of there, and again, because when Marshmallow tells them, "Don't come back!" and that's when Kristoff takes Anna to his family, because when I say family, because at the beginning of the film, Kristoff and Sven saw where Elsa and Anna's parents, they rode on horses making their way to the trolls to seek help. Well, Kristoff and Sven followed them, and they were watching over what was going on, and one of the trolls noticed them and decided to keep them and raise them. And yeah, the trolls are Kristoff's family, and Kristoff introducing the trolls to Anna, and, I wondered, because, like, was her memory of the trolls taken away as well? I mean, it's never established, but that's my guess, and I'm pretty sure that's probably possible, because her first encounter of the trolls, she's surprised. So is Olaf. And the trolls, like, they're excited to see that Kristoff, has a girl with him. And we get our next song number, which being Fixer Upper, talking about, Kristoff and Anna, about what they're like and so on. It's a pretty funny song, not bad. And that's when Pobby steps in and talks with Anna, because, telling Anna and Kristoff what will happen with her heart being frozen, and if it's too late, like, only true love can make her feel better and no longer have her heart be frozen, and so on. And thus, that's when they think that Hans could be the answer, and thus they make their way back to Arendelle, and Anna and Hans are reunited, but also we see Hans and the group of volunteered men, they finally make their way to Elsa's ice palace. They, of course, come face to face with Marshmallow, and they take on Marshmallow. Marshmallow is defeated, and Hans making his way in there, but also, actually, at first, the Duke of Wesselton's two men made their way in there, chasing after Elsa and trying to kill her, but Elsa doesn't want to really hurt them, and she's doing whatever it takes to stop them, and Hans coming in to assure Elsa that, this isn't who she is, and, not to be a monster, and so on. And even, like, one of the Duke of Wesselton's men, who was cornered, was trying to shoot at Elsa, but Hans was quick enough to stop him, but that arrow went up and hit the ice, like, chandelier, I want to say, and Elsa, like, getting out of the way, but she accidentally slips and hits her head, and she's unconscious, and she wakes up to find herself back in Arendelle in the dungeon, and with, like, chains to her hands, yeah. And yeah, so, again, Kristoff, Anna, Olaf, and Sven making their way to Arendelle, and a funny moment where Kristoff told Olaf not to be seen, but that pretty much did not last long for about a second, because, now he's been being seen by the people of Arendelle. In fact, a lady screams and saying that the snowman is alive! That was pretty funny. So Anna, back in Arendelle, she's reunited with Hans, and Kristoff, sadly, leaves Arendelle thinking that, because Anna will be in good hands once again, and with her true love, Hans, or so we think Hans could be Anna's true love, because, Anna telling Hans that, he has to kiss her, and, they are about to kiss, but Hans, this is where Hans turns out to be an evil guy, just basically the kind of Disney villain that's literally an asshole, pardon my French, but it's true, and especially since, like, Hans was giving Anna a backstory of what it was like for him to grow up with a lot of brothers, and a couple of his brothers pretended that he was invisible. Yeah, and this was his moment to finally be a ruler of a kingdom, which being Arendelle, just a greedy guy he is, you know what I'm saying? And so, and even like, because she has to be warm by a fireplace, well, golly, because Hans, like, putting out the fire and letting her freeze to death. Jeez. And Hans, like, pretending to the people in Arendelle, those who came to visit, especially the Duke of Wesselton, that saying that Anna is dead and it's because of her sister, lying to them completely. And then we see where Kristoff and Sven, they were leaving Arendelle, but Sven convinces Kristoff to go back, and especially when they see at Arendelle it's getting much worse, and thus, he realizes, Kristoff that is, that he has to go back. And especially, like, I almost forgot to mention this, throughout most of the film, like, Hans, like, not Hans, Kristoff, I should say, Kristoff, I guess, like, pretending and to figure out what exactly Sven is saying, like, talking, you know, if you know what I'm saying, like, it's pretty funny, and, yeah, because, you know, Kristoff knows his reindeer very well, and his reindeer's facial expressions and what Sven would be saying. So yeah. And sure enough, Olaf arrives, helping out Anna and setting the fire. And even, like, because Olaf getting close to the fireplace, like, he's slowly but surely melting, but I guess he kind of doesn't care. And, you know, Anna telling him that he'll melt. And a very sweet thing that Olaf says, and especially, like, you know, what Olaf says about, you know, her and Kristoff, and Olaf saying, some people are worth melting for. Yeah, very wise thing to say, you know, from Olaf. And sure enough, Elsa's powers get more intense by, like, her powers are freezing the castle itself, and Olaf and Anna get out of there, and, well, yeah, even, like, Olaf, like, using an icicle, like, as a telescope, and, you know, he sees that Kristoff and Sven are making their way back, and thus they head out to try and catch up to him and meet up with him, and, Elsa does finally break out of there because of, you know, how powerful she's getting. And yeah, like, there's a huge, like, blizzard, like, happening around the castle. And to speed things up just a little, we see that, and where the camera goes from where Anna and Olaf are to where Kristoff and Sven are, golly, like, I even forgot about that, because they're far away from each other. And even when, you know, because Kristoff riding on Sven, and golly, like, Sven is a very good reindeer, because, like, doing his very best to get to Anna and avoiding, like, you know, ships that were frozen with the ice, like, you know, coming upon them and so on. And then at one point, Hans confronts Elsa and tricking Elsa into thinking that Anna is dead. And yeah, this basically, like, you know, has Elsa break down, and with her not noticing, behind her back, Hans was about to strike at her with a sword, and Anna, who sees Kristoff coming towards her, well, she sees what Hans is about to do, and, well, she has to stop Hans from killing her sister, and that's where she does fully, you know, becomes frozen, and, well, this basically knocks out Hans because of, like, a powerful, like, blast wave or something that, you know, crumbles Hans' sword, and, you know, he goes flying, and, yeah, Elsa sees her frozen sister, completely frozen, and in a very sad moment, especially with the voice performance of Idina Menzel, like, breaking down. Like, I tell ya, like, she'd have to actually have broken down crying. Just like, say how, like, a good example, Paige O'Hara was actually crying when she did the voice of Belle when it came to the Beast dying. So, you know, there's that example. And Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf there mourning over Anna, as well as the people of Arendelle. They've been seeing what's been happening from a balcony. But because of Elsa breaking down, well, sure enough, Anna comes back to life. I mean, not dead. She was just frozen. She unthaws, and yep, she is perfectly back to normal, and with her hair being normal again, and not a streak of, like Snow Whitish hair, you know what I'm saying? And that's that's what it was. That because of true love breaking the frozen from her heart being frozen and so on. It was, it was true love of sisterhood, like, sisterly love and so on. That's what fixed everything, and that's what it was. Love fixing everything and restoring Arendelle the way it was. And Elsa, she does have the power to fix everything. Because throughout most of the film, like, they thought that Elsa could restore Arendelle, but Elsa didn't think she could. But sure enough, she did realize that she could. And Arendelle is back to the way it was, back to summertime. And the defeat of Hans is pretty funny because, Anna basically punching Hans right in the nose, and he got what he deserved. And especially he was thrown in like a jail cell on a boat, those kind of jail cells. And the Duke of Weselton being escorted back to Weselton, and they once again mispronounce it by calling it Weaselton. So bye-bye, Duke of Weselton, like, you're going to jail because of your greediness and so on. And the ending to Frozen, and, the epilogue / ending, etc., well, things are much better now in the Kingdom of Arendelle. First off, Kristoff has become the official ice maker / master, I want to say, of Arendelle, and and the ice delivery person of Arendelle, basically, as Queen Elsa made Kristoff those two things. And Olaf, at one point, because when Summer came back to Arendelle, Olaf quickly started to melt, but thanks to Elsa, she gave him his very own flurry, his very own, like, cloud of snow, so he would not melt anymore. And then, of course, Anna and Kristoff, they do officially become a couple, and kissing, of course. And Elsa, of course, being queen officially once again. And even, like, one part of Arendelle becomes, like, its very own ice skating rink. I think I'm getting that right. And a bit of snow, of course, and the people of Arendelle love it. And that's a nice way to end the film right there. Just them ice skating, and Anna had never ice skated before, but but Elsa, like, teaching her how to ice skate, and again, a nice way to end the film right there. And I'd like to also mention this because Frozen was one of those Disney projects that took a long time to make, especially during Walt's time when he wanted to do a movie about the Snow Queen. Even at one point, it was considered to be a Disney attraction, and like an artwork sketch by the late legendary Disney Imagineer / animator Mark Davis. He did a sketch on what the like Snow Queen attraction would have been like, and sure enough, many years later, Disney would finally do that project, and which, for it being called Frozen, and boy, how much of a huge impact this film left off. And the fact that, well, pretty much, like, this movie won a buttload of awards, especially when it came to the Oscars, winning for Best Original Song, which being Let It Go, and for Best Animated Feature. Totally obvious. Frozen, the first Frozen film. Again, just what a huge impact this left off. One of the top best Disney animated feature films ever. Like, just everything about it is memorable and fantastic. The storytelling, the animation, the characters, the songs, just everything to it. Fantastic. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, there is an end credit scene where we once again see Marshmallow, who, he survived after, taking on against Hans and the volunteered men, because he fell off a cliff, but he's okay, and he's in the Ice Palace, and he stumbled upon the crown that Elsa threw, and he puts it on, and he's a happy snowman with wearing that crown. That was a funny end credit scene right there. And I'm giving Frozen, I think it's obvious, 10 out of 10 stars. Yes, 10 out of 10 stars for Frozen. And what about you guys? what did you think of the first Frozen film itself? Like, I'm sure a lot of you saw this when it came out in theaters. Like, did you just fell in love with it instantly? Couldn't stop singing the songs? Like, yeah, what did you think of it? And what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Frozen. More review videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And stay tuned later tonight because the next/final film I'm going to be reviewing for this month is another Disney film, and this time it's live action, and it's a biopic film, all about how it was quite a struggle to make Mary Poppins happen. I think you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Stay tuned for that. And happy anniversary to Frozen. Take care, and peace out.